All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And Shalom to you, brothers that are laboring and pushing this word in truth and sincerity and with charity. I'm the brother Abraham from the camp here in GMS Chicago, coming back at you with another lesson. All right, Lord willing, to be edifying. And don't really have anything prepared or anything like that, but I figured just let the spirit flow. I do have a video here. It's from the Jimmy Dore show. It's called Epstein Files Reveal How Jews Talk About Non-Jews Behind Their Backs. Okay. And something that they bring out is something from, it's a quote from a Rabbi Ovadia Yosef, a Sephardic leader, stating that Goyim, which means nations, were born only to serve us, which is presented in the Epstein files. This statement sparks a discussion about Jewish supremacy and the racializing aspect of Zionism. All right, and this is how these devils think. This is exactly what they believe. All right, this is how they were brought up and born to believe. Okay, and this is why when you see what's going on with the Palestinians and the Arabs over there, and they have zero remorse, they have zero emotion when they say they gotta exterminate these people. All right, because they honestly really believe that they're the chosen people. All right, but that's where they err, because let's get this scripture here in Zechariah chapter 9 and verse 6. It says, "And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines." So what is a bastard? A bastard is a fraud. So a fraud shall dwell in Ashdod. Where is Ashdod? Right? It's modern day Israel. Modern day Tel Aviv. Who's dwelling there? Who's there? All right. So if a bastard, a fraud, will dwell in Israel, that means the people that are there now are illegitimate. Okay? So let me read a little bit more about this here. It says, key points from the discussion include casual versus derogatory use of terms. Ways explains that words like schmuck were often used as a term of endearment, while goyim was used humorously but with an underlying sense of ridicule, amplifying an inferior mind. All right, let's go to that.
Refer to the goyim, yeah, it is like a term of ridicule, but we never thought of it as like a particularly vicious or mean-spirited term. We would mean it as sort of a joke. Like one of the phrases we would say about non-Jews, we would say, okay, this guy has a goyish cup. Goyish cup meaning a Gentile mind, cup meaning, head or brain. So a guy with a goyish cup, like if we were meeting people for dinner in New York City and they were not Jewish, and they paid to park the car across the street from the restaurant, we would say, oh, look at this guy with the Goyish cup paying $30 to park.
Even meaning, if it was a Schwartz?
Yeah, meaning, he's got an inferior mind. Look at this Goyish cup paying to park. He doesn't have the brains to do what we Jews do, which is drive around the city for 45 minutes, seething in anger, having a heart attack, and then parking 15 minutes from the restaurant and having to walk a half an hour in the rain.
All right. Let me get one scripture let's get let's see, Ecclesiastes is it 8? I'll just word search it. It'll give me a second here. Okay, it was Ecclesiastes 10 and 7. All right, let me start at let me start at 6. It says, "Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place." Right? Who's the rich? Who's in the low place? Who is the head? Who is the tail? Okay. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. So a horse represents power, right? So servants are in position of power, right? The scriptures say in Job 9:24 that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right. So the basis of all men is in power. They're on that horse. All right. And the princes are walking as servants upon the earth. The princes being the true biblical Israelites. All right. Because we are in exile. We are serving captivity in our enemy's land. Because we transgress the laws and the ways of our Father Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Right? So the roles are reversed. Okay, we are, which are the kings and princes, right? Because Israel means prince of the power, and a prince is a what? A son of a king. All right. So we are in captivity and walking as servants upon the earth, while our enemies, the actual servants, are in position of power or upon these horses. Okay. Let's go back to this video. It says, ways only realize the offensive nature of goyim through interactions with others and recent public revelations, admitting it does kind of come off as nastier than intended. The speaker discusses how some aspects of Jewish culture, particularly those influenced by Zionism, exhibit an arrogance and supremacy, perceiving non-Jews as inferior. That's that superiority complex. All right, and the social engineering, all right, the term white, the term black, all right, to label people, because these words hold a vibration to them, all right, a negative and a positive vibration to them, and they labeled the Israelites as black, which black is comes with a lot of negative vibration in it. Okay, so let's play this clip here.
A culture of arrogance and supremacy. No doubt about that.
You think it has to do with maybe people being billionaires in something called a mega group? And also the fact that there's a bunch of these rich people, so your reform, you don't care about it, right? The religion itself. But there's a bunch of people that like hate it, and they're like, but they have a racial feeling they're better than people just for that. And they got some real twisted ideas. And I haven't been around Jews. You know, people haven't been around Jews. They Jews are like a cryptid to them. They'd have no idea.
All right, let me get this here in Daniel 4 and 17, it says, "This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men." Who is the basest, the lowliest of all men? Right, and that is Esau Edom. Right, he is the basis of all men, and just that alone lets you know that the Most High truly does rule the kingdom of men, because there is no way that the basis of all men would get the power of the earth all by himself. All right, the scriptures say, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side, then we would have been taken over by our enemies, roughly paraphrasing the scripture. Right, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side, or not, right? Because if we are in one accord with our power, then the Lord will be for us, defend us, and give us the victory. But if we go astray from following his ways, then we were overthrown and destroyed before our enemies. And that is the case in our time now. But the thing is, the Lord promised that he will deliver us, all right, from this captivity, all right, because for his holy name's sake will he do it, because he's not going to let his name be polluted among the heathen, all right. So let's read a little bit more. It says, distinction between Judaism, Zionism, and elite power. The conversation clarifies that these attitudes are not representative of all Jews, especially anti-Zionist Jews, and are distinct from the religion itself. All right. Political religions and supremacist ideology. The video concludes by framing these discussions within the broader context of political regions that foster supremacist ideologies, emphasizing that criticizing such ideologies is not an attack on Jewish people as a whole, whatever that means. So here's the one I wanted to start off with at first. So this is Psalm 64:1. Hear my voice, O God, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Right? And this will be your so-called Illuminati, right? Which means brilliant, light illuminate, right? Light illuminates, so they're the bearers of the light, right? In Isaiah 14 talks about how art thou fallen, O Lucifer, right? Because this is his heaven, this is his kingdom, but his kingdom wasn't meant to be established forever. He was only meant to rule for a little season, as it says in the book of Revelations. So that little season is up, and this is why you see his kingdom falling. Look at the state of his kingdom. Come on now. You mean to tell me you think this place is going to continue forever? All right, let me read a little bit more. It says, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Right? This is, they talk down upon us. They look at us as goyim, or they look at us like we're the bastards when they're the bastards. It says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? All right. Let me read a couple more. It says, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Alright, so they're telling you of their own selves. At the end of the day, the Most High and the true Israelites of the Bible will get the last laugh. Alright. So, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to go in on this video here. But I'm gonna go ahead and there, Lord willing, this video was edifying. As always, all honor, glory, and praises goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. Until the next time, Shalom.